Johnny boy.
And once again, Kevin. Hi. So, listen. First of all, few words for fans who just join us. Ребята, в основном будет разговор проходить на английском языке. Кое-что я, может быть, буду переводить, но в любом случае затем по окончании эфира весь материал будет на шайбе KZ, что-то будет у меня в телеграм-канале Акманов Лайв. Вот, можете писать свои вопросы на шайбе, свои вопросы сюда в комментариях, или опять же у меня в Акманов Лайв под соответствующим постом свои вопросы, будем их задавать. Но те вопросы, которые были заданы до этого, мы их обязательно для Кевина озвучим. So, Kev, let's start.
Sure. Whenever you're ready, buddy.
Yes. It's so unusual to see you without a bottle of beer while not drinking.
I got one right now. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. What do you, that's not me anymore, buddy, huh? I'm a changed man.
So where are you at right now, and what are you up to?
We are in Texas. We moved out here about a year and a half ago, just for medical reasons for my wife, and just to get out of the city and get into the country. We got a big property here, got some animals, kind of calm everything down and enjoy nature out here, and kind of get her healing out in nature, and that's it. And we're having fun out here. It's everyone's amazing. And it's just nice to be outside in the sunlight. It's a little hot here in Texas, but you get used to it after a little while. I mean, the kids still complain, and during the summer they don't really like to stay outside too much. But we're enjoying it.
Okay, so when you last time were in Canada, like you left Toronto behind and just moved to Texas?
Yeah, we were having, like I said, when Stace was having some issues with some of the hospitals in Canada and stuff, it was tough. And then, we kind of just were like, we contacted some doctors out here, and they got great doctors in Houston and Dallas. And then Stace, my wife, has a friend who's a nurse, who's like a half hour away from here. And, we just decided to make the move. And it was a spur of the moment kind of thing. I mean, we sold our house at the right time. The market was really high. So, and then I haven't been back to Canada yet because I had to wait for my green card and everything. But we're planning on visiting very soon. The oldest two, Ava and Noah, they're in Canada right now. They've gone a couple times during the summer when school ended, so they could be with their friends and see family and stuff. They miss everybody. We obviously miss everybody too. And just like I miss everybody in Kazakhstan because I haven't been there in a few years. But I got to see a lot of people at the World Championships, and that was an amazing feeling. Great to see everybody, and like I said, I miss everyone there too.
So, Kev, let's talk about a little bit about your career, earlier days in NHL and AHL, then KHL, then your current life, and of course your plans. So, you started your career and played as a youngster in Golfstorm, right? What kind of a team is a Golfstorm?
So I played in Guelph in the OHL, junior hockey. Prior to that, I was a junior B in my hometown in Niagara Falls, and I was on the bubble of either going to junior or going to college, the university route. And I think my fit was more of junior hockey. In junior, I was a younger guy, 15, but during that time, the rules, you could bring guys down from junior that didn't make the team. So we had a lot of older guys from junior, 20-year-olds, and they had talked about how fun it was, and that maybe somehow it was quicker to get to the NHL, and me being a young guy, 15, and hanging out with these older guys, I kind of drank the Kool-Aid and was like, yeah, I want to go junior. And then I got drafted by Guelph, and then I went to junior, and they weren't wrong. I had a lot of fun in junior, and had some really good seasons there. And then I went undrafted and signed with Boston. But junior was fun. I met a lot of great people. I still talk to a lot of the guys I played with. We kind of have this. We started a couple years ago before the pandemic. Was getting together in Guelph and having a weekend there. A lot of fun.
Roman Starchenko just joined us. Would you like to say something to him?
Sorry, congrats. You're back in Astana, buddy. He's one of the best players that I've ever played with. Wow, can he skate and he can shoot the puck. We had a lot of fun in Astana. I miss that guy.
Well, when I was going through your profile, I noticed that you played in golf with Martin St. Pierre. It was 22 years ago, and then he joined us in Astana. What was your emotions when you find out that your old friend of yours are joining in Barısa?
Yeah, it was fun because we had talked. He had messaged me a couple times before that, and we played against each other. He was in Zagreb, and Croatia, and we had kept up with each other. Yeah, he kind of came into Guelph near when I was kind of leaving at the end there, so he was a younger guy at that time. But we had a great team, great power play. It was me, him, Feder Tootin on the point, Dustin Brown, and Dan Pye. So our power play, I think, was the top of the league, and he's what got me all my points. His sauce pass, finding me in scoring. But then it was great to see him in Astana, and then to continue playing together again for another year or 2 years. And he's a great player, great guy off the ice, and he kind of helped my career a lot in junior. Starting in junior.
Maybe we should approach him and ask him to join us next time.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Get everybody on.
Okay. So you were undrafted and joined Boston in a few years, and then your first season, probably in Boston, 2005-2006, it was last season for Brian Leetch, top defenseman, one of the best in the history of the game. Probably one of our viewers noticed how great Leetch was, but tell us about this guy. What did you learn from him?
Yeah, so that's a great player, one that I looked up to when I was younger. But when I signed with Boston, the first couple of years we would have training camp, and then you would play in exhibition games. And at that time, he wasn't with Boston yet. He was still with the Rangers. And my first exhibition game was against the Rangers. And I played a lot. And then we were tied going into overtime. And at that point, I think they were testing out the 3-on-3, I believe, in overtime. Maybe it was 4-on-4, but I can't remember. But I lined up starting the overtime, and he was lined up right beside me. And I just was like, man, this is so unreal, so surreal that I'm just like playing in overtime against one of the players that I loved watch growing up, and probably the best American-born defenseman, and just a great all-around guy. And then I got to play with him when he signed with Boston, and I played with him. I mean, I think I played 21 games with Boston when I made the club there, and we were partners for almost all of those games, and I was logging a lot of minutes with him because he was at that point the established, obviously all-star legend in the NHL, and so he was the offensive, go-to guy. So I had to kind of stay back and kind of back up any situations that he.
Not your type of play.
When he was jumping up, yeah, and you kind of learn at that point. Got to let guys play the game. They do because they're the best at it, and so I learned how to pick and choose spots. I mean, he was a great skater. I was never a great skater. Kind of tried to emulate some of the things that he would do on the ice, and he was very, very smart player and very smart off the ice. And he would always talk to me and explain certain situations, and just to shoot the puck a lot and get pucks on net. Kind of that was one of the big things. It doesn't have to be a hard slap shot, but you have the best players in front of the net tipping pucks and getting rebounds, and everybody's crashing that. Just like get the puck to the net, and that's where things happen. And but then and then I ended up going to St. Louis after that. But he was it was amazing playing with him.
Next year, you're starting with Los Angeles Kings and Monarchs, and you're playing alongside with our guy Konstantin Pushkarov. Do you remember him as a youngster?
Yeah, I went to first time before that I was in St. Louis too, and then we were in camp, and Pushy was there, and Oleg Tverdovsky was there. So we would hang out with Ladislav Nagy was there also too. He was part of that little clique there. So was Rytis Ivanons from Latvia. But yeah, Pushy was he just had this he was small and like not small but like lean, and everyone thought that he was going to get pushed around, but Pushy, for some reason, this guy, he could hit, and he was not afraid to fight. He had a few fights in camp and a few fights when he played in the American League, and he was just a young guy, and I was also young at the time too, but he was a lot younger than I was. But he was, and then when we connected again in Astana and Barısa, and we had talked about the fun stuff that we did, and when in LA we had a rookie party, and he was part of that rookie party, and that was a fun night.
And then KHL started, and you were one of the first Canadians, one of the first imports who joined the KHL team. Like right now, I think the situation is pretty sure. Like you have a lot of contacts who already played in KHL. You can text or message or call somebody who can tell you some information, share you with information. But you traveled without any information, probably. How difficult it was to decide to move across the ocean and join a team from another continent?
Yeah, it was very difficult. But at that time, I don't say I wasn't. I had my end of the year meeting with LA and Dean Lombardi, and he just said that have I ever thought about going overseas and playing in an Olympic-sized ice rink? And I had said no. I wanted to. I thought that I could stay in the NHL and progressively get better. And he just said, well, there was a guy that he had coached or whatever, Brian Rafalski, and Rafalski had started in Finland in the big ice surface, had success there, and then came to the NHL. He said, well, you should think about going over there, doing that, kind of honing a type of game, and then coming back and see how it goes. So that was my idea, was to do that. And then the KHL at that summer had started up, and you saw Yager go over, you saw Chris Simon, you saw Stumple, Joseph Stumple, a lot of pretty big names that played in the NHL were going over. And I was like, I talked to my agent. My agent was like, you got a couple offers from Astana and Ceska and Riga, and I was like, oh, okay, we'll entertain these offers. And then not even, again, maybe a few days or a week after that, the movie Borat comes out, and we're all watching with my family. Everyone's watching Borat. We're dying laughing, and we're like, no, Kazakhstan can't be like this is just a movie, they just, and then I had my agent said that there was a Canadian on the team, Mark Lamoth, the goaltender, and if I needed to call somebody, I could call him. And then he also reached out to Stumble. So I called Mark, and Mark was already at camp, and he just said, and he had played also in Russia before that, and a lot of teams there. So he just explained everything, and he made it a lot easier. He said everything's just pretty much back home. same as back home. And he was telling me about the guys that were there. We had all the Czech guys and the Slovaks, and he said it's pretty normal. It's pretty, and I was just like, all right, I'm coming. This is great. And then I talked to Stumple also at that a couple days after that too, and then that just solidified my decision. And I went over, and the mentality was that I was going to go over there, have a great year, kind of prove that I could throw up some numbers and at the top, one of the top leagues also in the world, and then come back to the NHL and kind of go forward with my NHL career. And and then I got my flight a day before. My family had a little sending off party. They got me a cake. It had Borat on the cake, and the next day I jumped on the flight and landed in Astana, and kind of Gleb picked me up, and I was open-minded, and everything worked out great. Like, it was the only thing they lost my equipment at the airport. That was the only hiccup, and then I had to meet the team in Latvia and Riga for a tournament, but I didn't have any equipment, so I went there and just met everybody and hung out. And that was it.
That was Starry saying about you a few years ago. He said that team first met you in Riga, and you were comparing to Meze and Klauchek, the big guys. You were a small guy without the luggage. You lost your luggage, and coach asked whether or not this guy's going to help us. And then in the next month, you showed everybody that you're capable of.
Yeah, that's the rumor. I didn't know that's what happened, and that's what everyone was thinking, because when I went out to World Championships, that's what they said, that came in there, I had no equipment, and then they're like, this small guy coming over here, what's he gonna do? How's he gonna help the team? With the likes of Meze, 6'6", 260 pounds, Klauchek, 6'4", 230 pounds. Stumple was even huge. Like, we had some big guys, and but I knew, like, I was just going over with the mentality is like, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know how to play tough. I was pretty tough when I played, and I could hit and I could hold my own. But I was just going to go over, the mentality was like, F everybody. I'm going to prove that I'm a top player. And then I showed that, I think, in the next couple tournaments, in exhibition tournaments and exhibition games, where I started as the third pairing on defense with Sergei Gamayev. And then eventually me and Sergei moved up to the top pairing, and then I became captain, and the season went great my first year. Yeah.
So tell us about your best memory in the history of Barısa. Maybe you're reminiscing something like best match or best episode, something, what happened?
There's a lot of great moments, a lot of best moments. I mean, the biggest memory, and still to this day, I mean, it's just being around the fans. Like, the fans did so much for us, for me, welcoming me and my family. I can still remember, after the first season, my birthday was February 26th, and it was on our last game. I think it was after our first season or my second season there. And all the fans stayed after. They made a presentation. They brought a cake out for me onto the ice. They made this huge speech and everything, and I blew out the candles on the ice. It's just moments like that when you know, you moved away and you're so far away from, like, your family. And a lot of the times I was away in Astana without even my wife and kids. But the fans and the friends and everybody there made it so easy, and taking us in there, and that's why I do consider it our home, like a second home. I mean, we've traveled all over the world, we've been everywhere, and that's a place that's dear to my heart, dear to our heart, and the memories are so many memories. So I like, for you to just ask me one, that would be one that from the start of being there and then right to the end, it just continued.
You were in the ceremony of the club anniversary. Your jersey is on the roof, alongside with other legends. But who do you think, maybe 3 names, whose jerseys should be there alongside yours in the upcoming future? Maybe Starry, of course, probably.
Yeah, easy. Starry, Bochenski, and then Dazi for sure would be the top 3 that come to mind. Oh yeah, sorry. Brandon's. I keep forgetting about Brandon. Yeah, that guy disappeared. He's the mayor now. When's he going to be president? We got to contact him. Maybe he's going to be president in the next couple of years. Yeah. Oh man, I forgot about it. Yeah, so let me change that then. Starry, Dazi, and then who else can we throw in there? What about Sava? Sava had a really good career.
Savchenko, probably, yeah. Why not?
Yeah. And then you got a lot of youngsters coming up. I mean, there's going to be a lot of good players that down the road, and when they're finishing up their careers, that you could put up there. But just for longevity, I mean, obviously Dazi's had a tremendous career, and we know it's sad to see him retire this year. Dustin Boyd, I just saw somebody put that up there. Yeah, definitely. He had a great career too, and that line, him, Bochenski, and Dazi had. They pretty much carried Barısa all the years we played there, and they were the best line. I don't know how many years in a row. So yeah, you could throw Boyder in there too, but Dazi for sure. I mean, he's the most successful import pretty much in the KHL. So he'll be up there, I imagine.
Who are you in contact with from former players? You said that that it's tough to approach Brandon because he is a major now. But what about the other guys like Martin or Nigel or probably someone else?
Yeah,
Dustin?
those guys that you mentioned. I mean, it's tough now, because we're so far away from each other, and everyone's got families, and everyone's got their own stuff going on. But we periodically we chat. We like talk to Dazi a little bit after he retired, obviously to congratulate him, and Dietzy. I've been talking with Dietzy a lot. I talked to Dietzy a lot before the World Championships. I talked to him before I went to Moscow for the awards ceremony. And he's another guy who he's a name and jersey that you would consider to put up in the rafters too when he's done. He's still young. He'll have a lot more success, and hopefully it'd be nice to see him back in Astana playing there. But Henrik Karlsson I talked to a lot. He was one of my best buds on the team. We would always hang out together, and he was a great player, great goaltender, no goal machine, and a great guy off the ice too. Oh man, he can make you laugh. And Boyder, we talk a little bit too, but yeah, Brandon, I haven't really talked to that much. I'm assuming he's super busy with his mayor duties. And then I talked to the Stumples quite a bit. Their son was playing in Corpus Christi, Texas, in the UCHL. So we had chatted a little bit about that, and Klocek, and I talked to a lot of guys, not like regularly. Just if they pop up or you pop in your brain, you shoot them a text, hello, or whatever, and this and that, and then you talk and you catch up. But that's the huge thing about hockey is Antropov. Oh yeah, I forgot about Nick. I talked to Nick quite a bit too. And it's just but that's how amazing the hockey space is. You connect and you become friends with so many people all over the world. And at any time you can just pick up a conversation and you had so much in common, and it's fun. It's just fun to be able to do that, and to continue to see how people are doing and growing, and see how families are doing.
Yeah, that's probably how professional sports and hockey works. You can text anybody from every part of the world anytime. So you mentioned the fans, and how often do you have do you receive in text messages or texting someone from Kazakhstan? I mean, I'm talking about the fans, because we have a big loyal fan base here in Astana.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. The fan base is unbelievable. Quite a bit. I mean, I'll get messages and posts, or things in that sort, in that manner, and but it's daily that I talk to people. Like I said, even short conversations. How you doing? This. When am I coming back? Fans wanting me to play still. Fans wanting me to coach, wanting me to help out. Even just wanting me to visit so they can go for a beer and just talk about the old days there. And that's what I was going back to when you asked me about the memory question is again, there's so many, because the fans are so great. They're not like friends. I call them, they're my friends now, and it's great to connect with them all the time. And that's a great thing about the internet, is you can be anywhere and you can still chat about anything. It's great.
Yeah. So we all know you've been in Moscow, but not a lot of know that you were in Latvia supporting our national team. Have you met some of the bosses of the hockey club, or maybe hockey federation, or Coach Skabelka? Because a lot of fans asking, is there any chance you're going to join the club as a coach, as a player coach, maybe as a manager? Or I think players will be happy to see you as a general manager, probably.
Yeah, that would be something that I would be interested in. Yeah, so when I was in Latvia, I did sit down and chat with the big bosses, and I chatted with Skabelka and got the national team bosses and various bosses. The biggest thing that everybody's worried about, obviously, is my wife's health, and that's honestly, that's understandable, because I had to abruptly leave because of it. So she is doing a lot better. She is off all the pharmaceutical drugs, and she's healing and getting a lot better. So I don't want to rush it at this time. And so we talked about possibly maybe me coming periodically during the season, just to check in and help it with anything I could. But the main thing is to get her healthy, and then decide, because if we rush it, then if something happens, then it wasn't worth it if she's going to get worse. So yeah, I would love to help out with the team. That's what we talked about. I would love to help out with the youth hockey in Kazakhstan. I just want to give back, because Kazakhstan gave so much to us, and I want to help out with the team as well. So we will continue to talk, and hopefully everything will work out in that way. And maybe I will. But I would love to be a general manager, but I just want to help out as much as I could, as much as I can. But yeah, we had talks about it. But they're in good hands now. Skabelka's making some moves. Everybody's making moves this year. Picked up some players, but the main thing is the young Kazakhstan players really proved a lot to everybody this World Championships, at how well they played, and how well they even played during the season. I know it was a tough season for Barys, but you saw improvement in a lot of players, and some hope that things will start to grow and get a lot better. And I believe that it will. And Skabelka is making those moves, and things. There's a future, a nice little future for the team.
We're all aware. Are you aware of Nikita Mikhailovich, that he left the club and joined Metallurg? I mean, from your perspective, who can probably replace him as a top forward in the first line from Kazakh guys, like local guys? Because it's very important for local media and fans, of course, probably to have that type of a guy. I mean, with all the respect to Starry, he probably gonna end his career in a few years, but Mikhailis is a different story, and losing that type of big star right now is a huge loss for a club.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, you can't fault guys like when that happens, because I can't really say anything bad about him going, because I left at some point too, and I went to SCA, and even Dawsey had gone, like Boyder. So it happens. Sometimes there's a change that needs to be made, and hopefully he does well in Mettler. But as far as guys, I mean, Savitsky had a he's coming up. He had a great year, and this year and last year. You still have the younger guys. Like I know Patuk left. He was having a great year too. Sheva, is he back now, or is he? Yeah, he's back. So
he left to Amur, and he actually joined us in the live, so you can say hi to him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He went to Amur too. So there is a lot of guys that are coming up, and now that he's gone, and now, like I said, Patuk's gone, all these guys have left. It's more opportunity for guys to show up and guys to take over those big roles. I'm sure there's going to be some auditioning. Skabelka's going to have to put some guys in, change them, because that's how it goes. So you've mentioned
Savitsky, very nice guy, and seems like coaching staff were rebuilding his type of play, because he was a little bit defensive forward in his first season, and last season his minutes in reduced in Minshinst. Господи, забыл как Minshin. So in short-handed, his minute reduced in short-handed, and power play his minute grows up. So how tough is to be for, probably from your perspective, for Savitsky to improve his game from defensive forward to offensive forward like Mikhailis was?
Yeah, it's just getting, like you said, more ice time and more confidence, and then playing in those certain situations on the power play, playing with your top players, playing with Starry, playing with, hey Sergey, hey buddy, playing with Alex Grant. Like, that guy's got some. He's a good player. I didn't really know much about him, but I saw last year he had some beautiful shots. Like, he's got a great shot. He scored some nice goals. So I think, yeah, just getting more confidence and being put in those situations where he's on the top power play, where he's on the top line, and that's how it goes. When you get those opportunities, you got to capitalize on those opportunities. But when you get more time, you get more confidence, and I think that he's a guy that will have to bring that, and will have to be looked upon to fill that void that Mikhailis is leaving by moving on. And he just had a baby. Congratulations. And yeah, so there's a lot of guys, and I saw that they signed a few imports, and they got Eddie back in net. But it's like I said, it's good to have now these guys coming in, and a little bit of a mix-up. They lost a lot of guys, but that gives more opportunities now for the younger guys to step up, just like Nikita did when he came in. Now other young players have to do the same.
We have plenty of young guys from second team from Nomad watching and join us. What might be the best advice for the young players which you may have and give?
Yeah, just even when I was there, we had brought up a lot of guys, and the biggest thing is I was just talking about is when you get the opportunity, Skabelka will he will give you opportunities, but you gotta listen, you gotta You just got to work hard. And when you're putting in the effort, he sees it. And you'll get those opportunities. Now you just got to continue to grow and tell us how you got that black eye in Krakow. I can tell you. Oh man, I'll tell you after I finish this. But yeah, the young guys just continue to learn like I did from the older guys, from Starry. And if you need to call anybody or any advice, that's part of what I want to do, is to help the younger guys and help the younger generation and the youth continue to make their goals and play in Barys and be successful. Now to the story about the black guy in Poland. Oh man, we after we won and clinched the championship, or the gold medal at the World Championships, we had a team party, and we had gone out, and a few of us went out a little later, and we went to the casino, and I fell down the stairs at the casino, and I hit my head on the railing, and I kind of had a huge black eye. That was not huge, that was ginormous, that black eye. And then kind of passed out. And then the next day when I showed up at the rink, oh man, it was so swollen. It looked like a monster. I wonder if you had a picture to put it up. Oh,
that's what everybody says when somebody punched them on the face that they are fall down from something.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe I did. No, I don't know. I think I'm pretty sure I fell down the stairs, because that's where. Yeah, that's what happened. I'm sticking to that story.
Okay. If you're talking about this, tell us about maybe some bizarre story in your long career in the KHL, or maybe some kind of a bizarre place, like city or arena or locker room where you have been. Something funny and bizarre.
Funny and bizarre? Oh boy, throw me on the spot. Okay, I can tell you a funny story. Oh man. Yeah, this. So we went. Oh, my brother's on. My brother, you're supposed to be at work, Daryl. Jeez. You should. Can you add him? No, get him on here. I'll ask him a couple questions.
Yeah, he can ask for join us, and I will.
Daryl, ask to join us.
Daryl Dallmän. Yeah, right.
Yeah, Daryl Dallmän, 27. So to answer your question, I got a quick story that just came to mind. Kind of funny, but at the same time could have been very bad. So we had, when I was
declined. Daryl declined, sir.
He's scared. Daryl, come on! I want to ask you a couple questions about your trips to Kazakhstan, and he loves the food in Kazakhstan. Oh man, this guy. He's like, my favorite food is in Kazakhstan. Every restaurant, everything was fantastic there, and he knows his food. He's a big fella. He said it wouldn't let me. Okay, so back to the story. So when I was in SKA during the lockout, we had all the NHL guys back, like Kovalchuk, Tarasenko, Bobrovsky. So we had a pretty stacked team there, and we had one of those Olympic breaks. And all of us went to Igora, which is this like ski resort outside of the city. And again, we were having fun. We were maybe drinking a little too much. They had saunas and everything. And we came up with this idea. Let's go let's go jump on those GT, those GT sleds. They're like sleds, but they look like little bikes, and they go down. And so me, Tarasenko, and Budasov jump on these things. The lights are off, it's closed, but we don't care. And Tarasenko is just getting ready to go like back to the NHL and everything, and he just takes off down the ski hill on this jet ski or not jet ski, but this GT. And I'm like, no, Terry, we're going to die. And I jump on him, go to chase him. And right away I turn and I fall and I tumble over just like a snowball going down this hill. Just covered in snow. And Burdasov's dying laughing. And Tarasenko jumps off and we carry the stuff back. We go tell our wives and our girlfriends. And they call us idiots. You guys could have killed yourselves. You guys could have been so hurt. But it's just, there's so many fun stories that I would have to think about before it, I mean, that one just came to mind really, but I mean, I can definitely come on here again and have just talk about stories for sure. But the thing is, that's what happens. We have so much fun. Guys are great. Very rarely do you find a hockey player in the hockey world that's not a good person and not a great guy. And it's, another story with Dazzy too. When Dazzy came to his first season, he came and we were having a training camp, and he'll still make comments about this. But we had went out for dinner and we all ordered pasta, but his pasta came first, and pastas came, but he grabbed the pasta first, and I said, "No, rookie. That's my pasta," and I grabbed it from him. And after that, he thought I hated him for the longest time. And I was just like, "No, but I was just kidding. But that was the thing. Like when you were a younger guy, you kind of let the older guys get their stuff first. I don't know why they do that, but that was another funny story with Ozzy. But to this day, he'll still comment about it, or how's the pasta, something like that.
What is the difference between how people treat rookies in NHL and KHL? Because you have rookies in KHL, you have young guys like Orekov, like Samat joined the team, and we haven't heard any stories about them.
Yeah, it's different. It definitely is. I mean, and maybe that's why some of the rookies in the KHL kind of think that they're not rookies. They kind of have this thought that I don't know, that maybe they should be. I don't know. It's different. It's different in North America for being a rookie, even from junior to the American League to the NHL, because you respect the older players. You let them get their stuff first. You help out with the bags. You help the trainers. The rookies are supposed to, and I get it. I understand. Yeah, you're new to the league. You got to earn your respect, earn everything. But at the same time, there's some teams or situations where they take it too far, and I don't think that's right. You should be helping the younger guys, not making it worse for them. Not making it worse for them coming into the league because they're nervous as it is. So and that's where it's different from North America and to the KHL. Whereas they have rookie parties, they have all these things where they kind of make it known that you're a rookie and to earn your respect and earn your respect in the dressing room and this and that. And we could have, like, the KHL is good in the sense that they don't do that. They kind of help them out. But I mean, they help them out in the NHL too and everything. It's just different situations. But yeah, you're right. There's not so much of that going on in the KHL as in the NHL. Yeah.
Well, probably someday you're gonna be invited to Spit and Chicklets, and Biss and Whitney gonna ask you about some bizarre stories from your career.
Yeah, we have talked. We've talked quite a bit there. They ask me. Yeah, they always ask me if I can divulge in some crazy KHL Russian stories with the Russian gas, and stuff like that. And I would be happy to. I would have to watch what I say, but obviously, yeah, it would be fun. We'll see. They're busy. They got a lot of people, a lot of guys that they interview, and then they're also doing a lot of great things too with business wise. And then Biz is great on doing the commentating for the games. Oh man, the NHL did a great job hiring him. He's hilarious. But yeah, that would be, like I said, we have talked. They have asked a couple times for me to come on and tell some stories. So maybe in the future, maybe it'll happen, but we'll see.
Do you remember any names of journalists from Kazakhstan?
Yeah, Dinara, Sergey,
Dinara, Sergey. Who else? Oh, okay.
Oleg.
So, who else?
Oleg. What do you mean?
I
remember everything.
Just asking.
Come on, John. You trying to look bad?
Well, taking back to Astana, what is your favorite place there? Maybe park or restaurant, beside the arena, of course. Some restaurants or some parks.
Oh yeah. Icon. No.
Well, it's closed already.
Is it closed? Yeah. Well, every restaurant, like Il Forno was one that we ate at a lot. But that's going back to when my brother was on here and him saying that all the restaurants and the food there was fantastic. My kids still talk about it because it's different here than it is there. I mean, here the food is, I hate to go into it, but it's not the greatest food here at the restaurants, and there's so much fast food and there's so much. But in Fusion, Fusion was a good one. Fusion and Fashion back in the day. My buddy Abel, he has some steakhouses there and some karaoke places there, and he was actually in Texas not too long ago. He's looking at opening up a steakhouse here. But yeah, in Kazakhstan, St. Regis also, they hire chefs to come in from other countries, from Italy, France, and that's why those restaurants are so popular and the food is so good there, because they take pride in coming up with the best food, the best whatever job they're in. Even when I was in Moscow and I got my hair cut before the award ceremony, this lady took her time. Like it took an hour and a half, and I don't have a lot of hair. That's why I wear these hats and stuff, because I don't have that much hair. But I was growing it out, and she took just every bit of hair, she's doing it. And in North America, I don't feel like they take pride in their job anymore. Everyone just feels like everyone's entitled. But back to the point is, they hire chefs there. So I would say, like, a lot of things I remember, and a lot of places where I hung out would be like restaurants and the bars and stuff. And then, because then you can everybody knows everybody there. You're talking with friends and fans all the time. Just being out and doing stuff there, because everyone is so happy and everyone's so welcome, and you can always spark up a conversation at these places. But those main restaurants that I talked about were the ones that we hung out the most, and the kids, like I said, love. Oh, another one was my first couple of years was at Triumph. Triumph Tower there. They had a restaurant, the Triumph Pub, that we regularly frequented there. And my kids still talk about that to this day. Yeah.
There was plenty of questions about the beer, because I posted this photo with you drinking beer, and people are interested in what is your favorite beer in Kazakhstan and what is your favorite beer in USA.
Those are good questions. Well, the beer I drank the most was Efes and Baltica 7, but I don't. Those aren't Kazakh beers. But those are the ones that I drank the most there. Baltica 7, because it was the strongest. But in North America,
maybe you can become ambassador of Baltica 7. I think we should approach them and say, listen, we have a great ambassador for you.
I drank quite a bit of them, so yeah, I mean, I could be an ambassador for it. But in over here, I just stick to, right now I'm drinking Modelo's beer. It's like a cerveza Mexican US beer. That's it. but I don't drink too much anymore. Yeah, not as much anymore.
Well, another question from our fans was how difficult is to kill a player inside of you and become a regular citizen? How to live regular life?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's obviously different per person, per player, but for me, it wasn't as difficult, only because right away I had a lot to do with Stacy and the kids, everything. So I mean, if everything was normal and I finished, I'm sure I would have had like the free time, and then I would have been, reminiscing, missing hockey and everything. But right away, things were crazy and hectic. And at that point, like right before I left too, Jackson had a broken leg. So there was no time for me to sit and dwell on what I'm leaving, what I'm gonna miss. It was right into take care of Stacy and the kids, and it's been that way now since then. So obviously, yes, there's been times where I have now sat and chatted, like me and my brother, we'll get on the phone and we'll talk about stuff, like I said, like things, hockey, and if I miss it, and when he was visiting and those kind of things. So yeah, I do have times where I'm like obviously missing it, and missing my friends, and missing the fans, and missing Kazakhstan, missing playing. But I haven't been on the ice since I retired. I do keep in shape. I do work out, and I do run every day, but I haven't been on the ice. And then, but yeah, I miss it. Would I play? My kids don't play, so we're not that involved in hockey either. My nephews play. I have a neighbor across the street who's he's a huge hockey fan. Doesn't really know much about hockey, but when I moved in, I think his sister's husband was a hockey player in junior, and so he always comes over every day and asks if I watched the hockey game last night, or he'll tell me something about hockey. He doesn't know much about it, but he keeps me up to date on a lot of the stuff going on. But I more of really keep track now of just the team, like Barry's, and kind of the guys that I played with, and see how they're doing. But yeah, it wasn't hard for me to adjust to not playing hockey, only because I had so much to take care of, and a lot of purpose after the game that I had to, you know what I'm saying? And then seeing Stacy get sick, we kind of changed how we were living too, as far as we were just talking about the beer and me drinking quite a bit and stuff. Just being a lot more healthy. Again, kind of, it's been a kind of like an overhaul. But like I said, it was not easy, but not hard because I was so busy and had so many things to do right after I left.
Okay, we have a few questions left. But you said you don't have much time, of course, but you started the business. Tell us about this. Rats Eating High Heels. What it's all about?
Yeah, no. So Stacy always had her business. Stacy started a business, a baby product business, Nookums. It's passyplushies.com, and she started this when we were in California playing in LA. And it kind of gave me an idea, and me and my friend, an idea of, I always liked shopping in clothing, when all the guys know, like Dazi, and we would always be shopping if we went to Moscow or wherever we went, Italy, Milan. And my buddy, who's an actor in Toronto, was pretty big in fashion too. And we just were like, let's come up with some sort of clothing. I want to do some clothing business after I'm done playing hockey. And then it just came to, we got an idea, and then we just started this small urban clothing company, and then we've kind of mixed like hockey and cool art. So it's called Rats Eating High Heels. We have some cool designs. If you go on the website, you'll be able to see. But it's very small company. We're just sort of taking our time because we don't know. We both of us really don't have a lot of time to kind of move it so fast. So it's slowly starting, and then that's where it's at right now. Yeah, but yeah. Other than that, like I said, my wife, she's still got her business. Her business is rocking. And then the rest of the time is spent with my kids and then whatever we have to do here at this little farm that we've started in Texas.
Can people from Kazakhstan order something from Rats?
So yeah,
online?
So after I talked to you about this yesterday, and you're like, "Those hats are so expensive." I talked to my buddy, and we're gonna work on like some discount QR codes for everybody in Kazakhstan and overseas. And if the shipping right now is a problem to get it over there, then I'll just bring some stuff, and we could go to the Berry store in the arena, and we could have a little pop-up whatever giveaway.
Yeah, probably
sale.
That maybe some kind of a business model. You can sell your things in the Barısa official store. I think a lot of people would like to have it in there.
Yeah. So we would do something like that. Like I said, I talked to him right after you said that, and I understand that it is pricey, but we'll cover some discount codes. So we're gonna work something out. But yeah, that's what it is for now. But it's very small. It's very like at the beginning. We're not sure where it's gonna go.
Okay, we have 2 minutes left, Kev. So is there any particular date when you will be in Kazakhstan or maybe in Russia during the KHL season where Kazakh fans who traveled with the team may see you?
There's nothing set yet. Like I said, we're still in talking, and we're still working out details, like Stace, even with Stace and doctors and stuff like that. So nothing is set right now, but as soon as something does come up, I'll be sure to let so you can let people know, and we could we can come on live again and disclose when it's going to be, if and when I'm going to come. But right now, like I said, there's nothing in plans right now, but I definitely will come to see and watch some games, and even if I'm not helping out with the team yet, but I'd like to see everybody and definitely visit.
Well, at the end of our live, please, some words for fans who are watching, who will be reading, maybe on Kazakh or in Russian. What would you prefer?
You want me to say something in Kazakh and Russian? Oh man. But I can say a few words. But funny thing is, before we went to the awards show in Russia, my son Jackson got out this Russian like translating book and was like trying to learn a lot of Russian. And when I went up on stage, I was trying to get him to come up on stage because he had learned a few things that he wanted to say. But then he got scared because all the people and everything at the awards show. But no, I'm not very good at speaking Russian and not very confident either. So I'll just say that I appreciate everybody who came on and all the questions and the questions you asked, John, and that we keep in touch. And like I said, I miss everybody in Kazakhstan and Astana, and I still keep messaging me. I will still reply. Like I said, you guys are like, everyone's feel like my family there, and like I said, you've done so much for myself and my family, even my extended family, my parents. They all visited, and they love it there. They still talk to people online, and it's just amazing to continue to have this friendship and these friendships with everybody. We really appreciate it, and we hope it continues.
Okay.
And I can't wait for everybody. Yeah.
Kev, we appreciate and we're happy to have you here. Thank you very much for joining us.
All right, best friend. Take care.
See you.
Bye, guys.
Take care.